find you.
This is going to be a podcast style video, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of editing because what's really important is that you hear me. The Civil War movie, don't go see it. Don't waste your money. That's it, the end. You can go now. So for those of you who are here who want to ask why I think this way, and forgive me, I am so tired, and we were contemplating whether or not to see Monkey Man. We should have seen Monkey Man. First of all, the movie had nothing to do with Civil War, aside from the background of the movie, which was a Civil War just happens to be happening. It doesn't even really matter who it's between or who the either end of the spectrum is. All we know is California and Texas have allied. The president is taking over his third term, and yeah, a bunch of dead people everywhere, shock value. Like, it's not even, you know what the movie was? A driving simulator, a talking simulator, and as my husband and I were saying, about being a journalist, a war journalist, and the younger journalist and her come up. It was about her losing her empathy as the movie progressed, and the older one gaining her empathy. And the best character in the entire movie, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I know I joke around a lot. I like joking around, but I'm being dead ass serious. The best character who felt like they had the most screen time was the freaking truck.
I'm a sick fuck. I like a
that they were traveling in that said press on the side of it. Oh my god, how many things I have to say about this movie. First thing, this movie did not feel like a movie. It felt like a music video or an Instagram art reel. It was so artsy to the point where it came off pretentious. And Alex Garland, I think that's the guy. I'm gonna stay away from whatever he makes. I know he can make some good stuff. He has the potential there, but this just felt like, look at all the pretty shots and them driving and them kind of talking. And then look at like the stuff blowing up in the distance and dead body here, dead body there, but mostly driving. Like I said, the trucks felt like it had most of the screen time in the freaking movie. I can't remember anyone's name. Maxine? No, that was a trailer that we watched before the movie started. Holy, I don't even know where to start, bro. Like, this movie was so... And then they call it Civil War, which the movie really had nothing to do with. That was the least on the list of things this movie was about. You know when you're playing Super Smash Brothers and you pick a stage and you see the parallax in the background, and way into the background you can see in like a Mario stage, the flower and stuff like that, and then you call that stage the flower stage or what have you, but it has nothing to do with that because in the foreground you have Pokemon or something. That's what this felt like. Civil War really had nothing to do with it. It was about journalism and the girl becoming a journalist. Oh my god, let me see if I can pull my thoughts together because I also had alcohol, which made me even more sleepy because I was very tired, but then nothing was happening, so it just came off as a bad challenge, which was, hey, I bet you can fall asleep within the next 2 minutes, and you constantly trying to beat that challenge. That's what this movie was. It was boring as hell. It was so boring. I think if I was gargling fish gonads in my mouth for an hour, I'd have more fun. Foz advertising up the butt canal with this movie because the only part of the movie that was great and the only part that stood out was the part they showed in the trailer with the guy with the red glasses asking, yo, what kind of American are you? Central American, North American? Like, he was asking... And that should have been the movie. That was the entire movie. That's what they used to bring people in. The advertising was so disingenuous. Them calling it Civil War and then showing all the action parts of the movie that had nothing to do with the story was just next level deceit. I actually feel like, and I don't feel this a lot, but in this case, I feel like I want a refund for my ticket. Like, I don't want the refund back for the food or the drinks. We tipped the waiter because she was amazing. Like, she was the best part of the movie, this woman. And we were just talking, you know, and vibing. She was really cool. Met some friends at the theater. We were talking with them and it was great. But good Lord, you're literally driving most of the movie. So you come upon this news reporter and this Pedro Pascal knockoff dude because he looks like him. I actually thought it was him at first. I'm like, wait a minute, no. Are they related? And granted, like, he's good. He's a good actress. He's a good actor. Sorry, my brain's half asleep. Kirsten Dunst, she was good too. And I love her acting because she obviously portrayed someone who was war-torn and who was jaded. And it starts off with her being completely unempathetic towards this girl who looks up to her, but then she gains a little bit of empathy. She protects that person. You can see, okay, she's still a good person. She protects this person. And it starts off with some weird music that plays during the fight scenes that are all in slow motion as the SWAT are fighting civilians and civilians are fighting each other and whatever. She saves this girl and the girl looks up to her like, oh my God, you're my hero. And the girl basically forces herself. They want to go to Washington, D.C. to interview the president amongst the civil unrest. And when I say civil unrest, I mean the country is like post-apocalyptic almost. So girl forces herself in with Kirsten Dunst and her camera dude, or I don't really know what his job is because I never really see him with the camera. So is he there to just like watch her ass? I'm not really sure. And at least at some point I thought that he was with her because I'm like, okay, if you're a woman and you have a decent looking dude and you guys are always together all the time, I'd expect some snoo to be happening. You know, like I thought there was that, or that at least happened. And then this new girl comes in the mix and I'm thinking, oh, at least something exciting is going to happen while we're all just sitting in the truck waiting to see what will happen. Maybe these two will get together because he kind of implied that he liked her a little bit. Nothing ever came of that. Okay, whatever. You're going to feel like at some point it's building to something. It's very slow. There's just wide open road. There's a shot for like 2 minutes of a sprinkler system. I'm not fucking kidding. The movie is just like, look, slow motion at these beautiful shots that go on for 5 minutes. When I say the movie could have been 20 minutes long, that's not me being an asshole. The movie could have been 20 minutes long. And it still wouldn't have been a movie because it's like nobody wrote this movie. There was no writing. People are just talking and something gonna happen. And then here's the part that really freaking drove me insane. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my cool. Let me sip some water. Sorry, milk. I forgot this was milk I was drinking. I like milk. I like when it's cold. I'm thirsty. Anyway, there's this undertone of suspense throughout the whole movie because you're expecting, this movie is called Civil War. You're expecting at some point, like Leave the World Behind, which is more of a Civil War movie than this was, that there's going to be something happening soon. And imagine you have this really eerie undertone of they're driving. 1 shot, drive. 2 shot, drive. Skip to the next shot, drive. They talk. No, they don't talk. They look out the window, look at each other. Shot of their faces, drive. They talk, they say a little something. What's that? Drive. And it's like, okay. They meet up with these dudes at the gas station. Oh my God, I saw 2 people hanging in there. What's gonna happen? Oh no, and the guy's like, we've been contemplating whether or not to kill them, you know, because you're the cameraman, it's okay. Do they kill them? We don't see a shot of that happening. Drive. Oh my God, did you see what happened? And I just, I didn't take the shot, I was scared. Yeah, well, next time, take the shot. Drive. Talk some more, drive. I'm not exaggerating. This is literally the movie beat for beat. Drive some more. Drive some more. And then they're like, oh, well, let's stop and rest because we see gunshots. We see Civil War happening way over there. We might go there tomorrow, but we're tired. You gonna get some sleep? In the back of the truck, you gonna get some sleep? Well, yeah, I could stay up with you if you like. Nah, it's okay. All right, but you're gonna want to get some sleep. I swear to fucking God, that's the movie. The next morning, they go to the place. They're in it. These people are all fighting each other. You don't know who's who or what they're doing. It's just from the photographer's point of view. And the soldiers are all trying to protect the press people because they know it's important for the press people to be there to take photographs. Oh my God, action, pause. Because the camera shot that she just took, the click. The shutter goes off. You see the camera shot. Take a good look at the photo, even though we just saw it, right? All right, action. They're shooting, click, pause again. Still photo, so the audience can see for a good while. Look at this beautiful shot that this person took. All right, ready? Okay, and then after they do this for a while throughout the movie, you get it the first few times, but then after they do it, it becomes very fucking annoying. I'm sorry, if you can't tell I'm annoyed, I don't feel like I got what I paid for. I couldn't even enjoy my drink very well because I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I am fighting so hard to stay awake right now. This movie's trash. It's trash. But anyway, so what happens? They go back to the truck. Oh, silly me. My dumbass tender tits. Drive some more. Drive. Then you're like, okay, well, after they're driving and talking and driving and talking and driving and talking and driving and talking and driving. Oh no, where we just came from. I wonder, there's a car following us. Oh my God. It's following us. Drive some more. What's still following us? What should we do, old man? Well, I don't know, just let them pass. And then when the car passes, you think, oh my God, something's gonna happen. Turns out it's their friend, their Chinese friends. Hey, what's up, Joe? And then they do this thing where they jump into each other's cars. So the girl journalist, the new one that's coming along that looks up to the older one, jumps through the window of the other car. And it's not even like an action jump. It's just like a fun thing that I'd like to try, but I know is dangerous as hell. And then the Chinese guy who's friends with Discount Pedro is like, oh, I'm coming in there. I'm coming in there. Look at me being all edgy. He jumps in their car. And of course, now younger journalist girl don't remember her name because it's not important. So she goes off with the other Chinese guy, the second Chinese guy who's the driver. Okay, well, where is she? Because now Kirsten Dunst is worried about this chick because she's like, she cares about her. And they see that their vehicle has stopped after a while. Like, no, the tractor almost, it doesn't matter. Fuck this. Anyway, they see the vehicle, doors are open. Whew, let me stand up for a second because I am so, just explaining, I have to relive everything when I'm explaining this movie. And that's getting me upset because I just, you know, when you spend money on something and you really are sorry that you did it, you literally spend your money to be bored and to have a bad time. It makes you angrier. Okay, so let me calm down. All right. Calm down. It's okay. Okay. So they come upon the vehicle that younger journalist girl aspiring journalist, is in with the Chinese guy who was driving. And I'm saying Chinese guy for a reason. You'll see why. Jess follows her. She's like, we got it. Not Jess. Who's the older woman? I don't know. I think one of them is named Jess. Maybe the little one. I'm not sure. But the older woman, Kirsten Dunst, follows, dude she's with, Discount Pedro, and old man. And the whole time, they're like, you're old, you can't dodge bullets. Like, the audience can't see that. Like, we don't need you to keep reminding us that he's old and he can't dodge bullets, because we can see that, and he knows that. He even made a show of it, but they keep bringing it up every freaking 5 minutes. Like, he walks with a cane. We can see. You don't need to keep reminding us. Anyway, they're like, oh no, she's in trouble. And we see these soldiers, or militiamen, the guy with the red glasses from the trailer, we see him with his buddies, and come to find out, there's this big grave with a bunch of people in it that they killed. And so little journalist and Chinese guy, Chinese driver, they're like, oh no. So the guy is like, yeah, what kind of Americans are you? They start that whole conversation. And this scene, the whole scene leading up to this and this drawn up scene, this guy saved the movie. He didn't even save it. He wasn't enough to save it. But that's the only thing I don't regret seeing, the rest of that scene, which they showed 75% of in the trailer, because that was the only thing they had to show because 99% of the movie was driving and talking. Oh my God. So he goes around asking red glasses guy what kind of American everyone's from. One guy says he's from Florida. The other girl says she's from Missouri, and the bigger one says she's from Colorado. So he's like, see, that's American, because Texas and California have united, whatever. They're called the Western Forces. And then he's like, you guy hiding behind the back. And the way he delivers his lines is what makes this so believable and hilarious at the same time. No, but he shoots he shoots the Chinese guy first. So he shoots the first Chinese guy because he's like, is this guy your colleague? Yeah, pop, shoots him. So everyone knows, oh crap, now we're really in danger. So the second Chinese guy was their friend that jumped in from his car to the other people's car. He's there crying because I think he's realizing, shit, I'm not American. But I'm thinking, homie, why didn't you fucking lie? I mean, yeah, he can see that ethnically you're obviously Chinese, but you could have lied, bro. You could have been like, I'm from New York. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know. China, what's that? I don't know. Freaking, I don't eat dogs. Like, I'm kidding. You know what I mean? Play it up so the dude thinks, because you know, okay, clearly this guy, you heard him say that's American, and he just killed your other Asian friend. So why would you freaking tell him you're from Hong Kong? Like, that makes no fucking sense. But I guess he figures, okay, if I tell the truth, he'll let me go. Bitch, he just killed the only other Chinese dude there. So he comes around, he's like, where are you from? And the guy is losing his shit, and he's like, you can't speak? And it feels like Pulp Fiction. That whole scene with the guy with the red glasses felt like something from out of Pulp Fiction.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
And with the rest of the way this movie went, I almost get the sensation that the director or whoever was the writer for this didn't write that part. I don't know what happened. They gutted the whole movie, but that part was the only substance that was properly finished that made it to the movie. Everything else was unfinished. So then he's like, you're Chinese? Ooh. Pop. I was like, so not American. I'm like, oh god. And the way it happened was terrible, but it was funny at the same time. And then the other guy loses his shit because that was his friend. And then the old man saves them because he was the only one left in the truck, and he runs over the American guys. Turns out he was shot though, so he dies. And then as he's dying, when they're driving to Washington, D.C. or wherever, look at all the slow, pretty colors. The girl threw up in the car, and what's his face? Discount Pedro is just screaming, but you can't hear him screaming because slow motion, it's a music video, remember? Just no audio, just see him screaming, like very, very loud, but we can't hear him. And slow motion, more dead bodies, sort of. More dilapidated buildings, slow motion, the truck is the real MP here. Like, he is, the truck should have his own credits at the topmost area of the casting, because he is the only person in the entire movie that I walked away remembering its face and remembering its presence. And also remembering that truck got beat up quite a bit and he's still okay. I was surprised. I was like, how did you not lose an axle the way that you flew off the road? But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna name the truck, Walt. Yeah, that's his name. He deserves a name because he carried the movie. He literally carried the cast through the entire movie. And then the last section of the movie now, maybe like the last 10 minutes, they reach Washington, D.C., and they're now with all these soldiers that are trying to get the president. And I can't even really call it action. It's just, the focus is mainly on the people, the cameramen in the middle of the action, and the younger journalist starting to really get into doing this. Now she's risking her life and that of others to get her shot. And then when they do finally find the president, they're like, oh, he's still in the building. He's not in the cars that just escaped. They were just making us think that. Let's go in the building and get him. And this Kamala Harris looking woman is like, let's talk. Let me just, because she looked like Kamala Harris. I don't know if they were going for that or what the hell that was about, but I was like, is that supposed to be Kamala Harris? Because I legit thought that was her. Looks like her, talks like her, everything. She gets popped. Then they go in the back and they see the president. And then before they even get to that point, right, they're fighting the Secret Service, this band of soldiers. The younger journalist girl is stupid, goes out into the middle where gunfire is happening, like a freaking CUN. And so Kirsten Dunst should have just let her get shot. I would have been like, but she has empathy. So she jumps out in the way and shields the girl. And as she's falling to her death, while the girl is still on her back after being pushed out of the way by Kirsten Dunst, as Kirsten Dunst is shielding her, she's taking the shot. She's like, look, I did it. Because she'd asked a question earlier on in the movie, if I die, will you take the shot? And Kirsten Dunst is like, what do you think? She wanted that. That's what Kirsten Dunst wanted. She wanted her to be a journalist. It doesn't matter. But you see, Kirsten Dunst is more human than she is because she took a shot of her dead friend, the old man, when he died in the car, he didn't make it, and she deleted the picture. So she has more humanity in her, and she made this woman a monster, but she already was a monster before she even went with Kirsten Dunst because she was taking a picture of this woman taking a picture of dead people. Kirsten was more human. She got her humanity, and when she was getting triggered in the midst of war, she couldn't even she was feeling everything. It wasn't about the journalism anymore. And so, they get the shot, they meet the president, they drag him by his ankles, another ridiculous thing, by the way, and my husband brought this to my attention, right? So, in the end of the movie, when they shoot the Kamala lookalike, they go and find the president in his office. That's a good point. Why wasn't the president in his bunker, right? You'd think they'd have measures in place so that when there's a nuke or something happening, they can issue the president to safety. They sent those SUVs out of time to make people think that the president wasn't there. And it took them a while to get to the White House. This was enough time for him to get down into the bunker. You can look it up. The Presidential Emergency Operations Center is a bunker-like structure underneath the east wing of the White House. It serves as a secure shelter and communication center for the President of the United States and others in case of emergency. And it was constructed after Franklin Roosevelt's presidency just after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941. So, him sitting under his wooden desk in some random room when they already were well aware that people were upon the White House was so unrealistic. And it's like whoever wrote this, I think it was Alex Garland, the actual director who wrote this, which I'm still shocked because you wrote Annihilation. Stick to sci-fi and all that stuff. Stick to sci-fi and 28 Days Later and those things. You're great at those things. This ain't it, bro. There's like little to no effort that went into the construction of this at all. It felt like this was supposed to be a music video for some country song or something about what happened to America? Why are we all fighting each other? Like, it feels like that's what it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have some lyrics to it or something. And it's just, let's just scrap that, because the song sucks, and just make it a movie and stretch it out to high hell, because it made no sense. But here we are. So anyway, they drag the president out from under his desk, and they're all standing around, and they're like, yeah. He's like, wait. And they're like, what? Yeah, the Pedro guy asks him something in total anger, and the president's like, please don't let them kill me. And then the journalist guy's like, that's good enough. And then they pop him, and then they all pose for the camera, sort of, over the president's body like they just killed a buck. And the girl takes the picture, and that's the movie. What a steaming pile of swamp ice. I was sitting there for a while wondering what I just watched, because I'm thinking, okay, there's meaning to this. There has to be, right? But no. You know those freaking pretentious art people that are like, let's do an art contest and interpret the art. Now, I love art. I'm an artist. I love other artists. I love seeing other artists work and interpreting their work. But I'm sorry, to some degree, I'm gonna be like, okay, so here we have on this wall a black dot on a white canvas, and it's selling for $2 billion, and people are standing and looking at it and saying, oh my goodness, look. He captured the grandeur of the cosmos in this one little singularity. I can feel the depth and the rage within the dot. I can feel the anguish of his childhood. This black dot on this white canvas encapsulates everything about our very nihilistic existence. I'll take it for 2 billion, 2.5. Like, what the fuck? When did art become retardation? And I don't mean that in an offensive way. There's actually a word called retardation. Look up what it fucking means. It's just I feel like that's what this movie was. A black dot on a white canvas. And I'm sorry I saw it. I wish I'd just seen that scene. The movie feels unfinished too. It feels like it was supposed to be something and they had a concept, but they didn't even finish coming up with the concept. But they decided to just like, nah, just do it. Just release as is. But sir, we only have 10% of the movie written. Don't want, we're gonna write that into a bigger movie. Yes, sir, but we don't have the other movie. It doesn't matter. Just put it anyway. Okay, sir, are you sure? Because what are we gonna do for the rest of the runtime of the movie? I don't know, show dead people, like music, fill it in with music, like some American old music, and very slow motion shots of sprinklers, of sparks, of a forest on fire in the distance, of some gunfire being shot into the night sky for like 8 fucking minutes. This movie was the devil's asshole. I swear, it felt like I got catfished. I swear it feels so, I don't have the words to describe how I'm feeling. Not good. That's how, not good. If I were to write all this out, I feel like I should have written a script for this to really give you guys what I was thinking about, because I'm a better writer than I can articulate. When my brain is all filled, my brain is going faster than my mouth can keep up. So it's easier to write out a script, and I'm all frazzled right now, so I can't, and I'm angry. And the more I think about it and I stay talking about it, the angrier I get. Good Lord, why did they call the movie Civil War? Oh, is it because you were trying to capitalize on the actual sort of soft civil war that's going on with the country now? So you're like, look, people, look at what this movie's about. See the soldiers? See the guy asking what kind of American are you? That's what the movie's about. No, it's not. It's not about that. It has nothing to do with that. You freaking troglodytes. I am so sorry I saw this movie. And we should have seen Monkey Man. I walked away from that movie feeling like I didn't actually watch a movie. It's really soothing. If you want something to go to sleep to, that's great. That's perfect. You know those sleep music videos that people make for like 10 hours? Just have this movie on loop and you will fall asleep within 2 minutes. It's a great soothing movie to fall asleep to. It is completely useless. You would have woken up maybe 30 minutes later and not have missed anything. There's nothing of any context or substance in the movie. Just people driving and talking and occasionally taking pictures. And people gunfire, random gunfire. And that's it. That's the movie. This was worse than Madame Web. At least Madame Web had entertainment. This was by far much worse. If Madame Web was an F, this movie's not even on the freaking alphabet.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in